We're going to bring up Julia and Jennifer in a minute. I'm going to do a quick bio here. Julia is the editor-in-chief of Metropolitan Airport News. Her work with this monthly print and online publication began in 2019 as an editorial contributor, writing airport and aviation history and human interest pieces. Julia, please come up. Jennifer, a little bit about Jennifer. Jennifer Aument is Chief Executive Officer of the New Terminal 1, a private consortium development, a world-class international terminal that will anchor the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey's $19 billion redevelopment of JFK International Airport. The New Terminal 1's $9.5 billion first phase, scheduled to open 2026, is the largest single asset project financing in U.S. history and the nation's largest public-private partnership. Jennifer brings more than 25 years of experience in developing major infrastructure projects across the highway, rail, airport, and port sectors, with a focus on public and private partnerships. She has a strong record of advancing a complex infrastructure and mega projects efficiently and safely on behalf of leading equity investors and developers for both the private and public sectors. Prior to joining the New Terminal 1 in April 2024, Jennifer served as a Chief Executive Officer of AECOM's Global Transportation Business, leading a team of 14,000 to deliver innovative transportation solutions for clients of the preeminent transportation consulting and designing firm. She previously served as the President and CEO of leading infrastructure investor Transurban's North American business, where she oversaw the development, financing, and operations of major toll road infrastructure in the U.S. and Canada. In addition to her private sector experience, Jennifer served for a decade on the Board of Commissions of the Virginia Port Authority. She has contributed to the board of several publicly listed and private organizations in transportation and technology sectors, including investment firms Meridian and Strategic Value Partners, and non-for-profit transportation policy think tank. Jennifer has also served as an executive in residence at Cornell University Brooks School of Public Policy, where she taught a graduate course on delivering modern mega transportation projects. Jennifer, please come to the podium.
Jen, it's now 6 months in. How have things been?
Busy, but we're fine. Can you hear me on this? Can you hear me on this? I'll talk loud for a minute until, let me try to chat, yes. They've been busy. So it is great to sit down with you again, because it is a little bit of a bookmark for me, or a bookend, to be able to reflect, because we met so early in my tenure, and to be able to reflect about the progress that we made over the last 6 months. And the exciting things that we have to come. So it's good to be able to chat about that. I think before we start, though, my role is to take credit for all the fabulous work that my team does. So before I get into the discussion, I want to, if you are working, not just my executive team, many of whom are here, but if you have a role working on the New Terminal 1 in any capacity, will you stand up? Yeah. And I know there are others that would stand up if they had been yet announced. So thank you to those folks as well. But what an effort we have in New Terminal 1. So thank you. It's going to be wonderful to catch up on what we're doing, but it's I'm merely taking credit for the work of the people in this room and in this community. They're doing some pretty spectacular stuff out there.
What are some of the latest developments at the NTO?
Okay, so have you seen the building? It is amazing. We started laying steel a year ago, July, and it is incredible to see the building come up. We are almost completely done with the steel. Curtain walls up. We've got one of the most complex parts of the project was, I don't know if you've ever run a major rail system through the middle of a multi-billion-dollar construction site, but we've actually closed in the air train, and so we've got some of our air train partners here who are great advocates in helping us keep customers safe during that time. An incredibly complex effort that we've been able to put that together. We are well down the track on the East Pier, and we've got started on our microgrid on the ceiling, which is really cool. I just got new aerial photos the other day where we will have the single largest solar installation in the New York area. Starting, and it will be a majority of our power source will be open. So we've made some serious progress in construction, and I'll tell you, we are now moving to more what we call an MEP, or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing stage of the project, where we have gone from our incredible workforce of 1,700 colleagues out there today doing major steel work to now we're getting into the more fleet, say, intricate work involved in the coordination of a whole lot of third parties as we work through the baggage handling systems, as we start to bring our retail spaces into shape, as we start working toward, with our partners at the Port Authority, power next year. So we've actually shifted into this new phase, and when you go into the building now, you're starting to see that customer vision come to life. It's not just a big fancy shell. You're starting to see, oh, here's where I come in. Here's where I'm gonna, here's the TSA area coming together. Here's this beautiful sunlit customs and border protection area coming together. So you're really starting to see that vision coming together, which is exciting for the whole team. Mm-hmm. And Philippe's gonna get mad at me because I didn't say that steel work was intricate. It is also intricate, a different kind of intricate.
Very incredible. And here's a big topic relevant today. You've been a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion throughout your career, which is 25 years now. How are you and your team driving this at the new Terminal 1?
Yeah, I thought about that a lot today when you see the people in this room and that play so many different roles in the aviation industry, and look at the diverse experience and background of everyone in this room. In a place that celebrates the history of aviation, we all know that 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 10 years ago, this room would have looked much different in terms of the leaders in the aviation space that are driving the most important aviation terminal in the country and among the most important on the planet. So what a celebration of how far we've come and how far we still have to go in terms of making sure that we're not leaving wonderful talent on the sidelines in important work that we do in aviation. And tell you in terms of our team, one, as you know, we're really proud of our commitment to MWBE. It is in the core of our business. And I think we talked about at the beginning, but it's one of the first things I noticed when I walked in the organization, that in working in big infrastructure projects all over the world, you always say you have a commitment to diversity, and it's a little bit on the side. It's not the main game. It's just you've got the marketing and the finance and the operations, and we've got this commitment to diversity over here on the side. The new Terminal 1, it really is woven into the fabric of our organization. It's led from the top by our sponsors. All four of our sponsors, but particularly JLC, whose mission is to deploy money and capital. And so from the top down, in every aspect of our business, you see in every colleague that we have, it's really woven into to every aspect of the business. And so we're really proud of the work we've done. Kim is here, and others who play such a critical matchmaking role and support role in connecting us to some of the great talent in this community. And that's how we've built this now more than $1.2 billion contract opportunities, and been so pleased to be a big part of what's now almost $2.5 billion coming out of the airport redevelopment from the Port Authority. So that's been an exciting development. But we've also actually taken that same mission and same principle when it comes to building our direct leadership team. We're in a really exciting time And you've seen, we've made some changes in our team actually, and since my tenure, and you've seen changes over the course of the last year at the new Terminal 1. That's not by accident. We are in this wonderful phase where we're shifting from that development aspirational phase, very exciting time, to now moving into construction and now moving into it's getting real. Like we are ready to open June 2026, we'll be opening our doors and servicing customers. And so that's really at a point right now where we're shaping our talent to be prepared for that next stage. We've welcomed in, I've got Marlene Visepo here. Our newest hire comes from, our chief legal officer comes from the airport in Puerto Rico. Other members of our team that are here, we're really moving towards that operational stage. And as we do that, making sure we've got the right talent around the table, diversity is a big part of that. Not just cultural diversity, ethnic diversity, gender diversity, but diversity in backgrounds and experience to put that great talent together to be able to deliver on the promise to our customers. And when you look at some of the stats around that, as we look at our leadership team now, we are 2/3 women, and pause for that for a minute, in aviation, 2/3 women, and 50% minority on our leadership team. And so I am so proud of that. And it's not to support a goal, it's because I believe to my core, and my leadership team believes, that to the core, that diversity of thinking and background and experience will make us more competitive, will provide a better product to our customers, will make us a stronger business and help us to meet our commercial goals. So it's not a nice to have, it's not a we should, it is a strategic imperative for us to achieve what we're trying to achieve, and I'm really proud of how that team has come together.
Wonderful. When we met in May, we had a great conversation around how airports can support travelers with special needs. As a person who travels regularly by air, and from your own experiences at many airports that you've traveled through, what are your thoughts on how airports could better support travelers with different needs, and how is the NTO preparing for that?
So I wish my operations lead, Marissa Valmini, was here. She's with our friends at TSA and Customs and Border Protection, so I told her, do not leave. They're the most important partners. But we, because this is a passion project for her, and it's a passion project for me, and I'll share a story. It was a bit of a humbling experience for me personally, as you and I have talked about. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in my early 40s, and I had a job. I think a colleague mentioned that my previous job was head of global transportation for ACOM, and one of the great things about that company is I had projects and people on 6 continents, and so I was on a plane traveling overseas almost every single week, and was surprised with the diagnosis of breast cancer, which just a shout out, get your scannings, because I was never as healthier and more on top of the world, so you never know. For the first time, so I went through my treatment and I was getting back to work, and I was found myself in the airport in Madrid. And I don't mean to say anything bad about our colleagues in Madrid or the services there, but it was such a long walk to the gate for me, and it was such a moment for me as a very fast-moving, I'll travel all over the world, woman in a male-dominated industry, I'm pretty tough, and I found myself I don't know if I can do this. I don't know that I can do my job because I can't make it through this airport. And my gosh, how humbling of an experience in your 40s to be having that experience. And we all know family members, our parents, our loved ones, who, for me, I was thinking, can I not do this professional career path anymore? Can I, for our loved ones, lots of them have left travel because they can't tackle the burden of airport infrastructure. How could we let that happen? How could we let that happen? So our team has really made this a priority in the design of our terminal. And from the time, if you are a passenger requiring assistance, from the time that you step out of your car, we will have a partner there to meet you to help take you on the journey in our terminal. We are looking at a partnership with TSA as their TSA Cares program, which is a wonderful program Where they leave off, then we can pick up and we can carry you on that journey. You will have a variety of lounges, both airside and landside, where you can get access to the wonderful amenities on our terminal from your phone. So not only can you be in a place, whether that's a sensory lounge or a lounge that has private changing areas for adults and lifts to help support in that, but you can be there and also enjoy in this fabulous world-class customer experience. You can have products that you order from your phone, participate in the great local New York food at our terminal. And so we're really creating this experience so that our customers can, of all kinds, can enjoy the great experience, world-class experience we're delivering. And, you know, I hope setting a new standard for airport terminals in the United States for what we can do to help bring people back to the adventure of travel.
Well, before my next question, I just wanted to congratulate Jennifer as a 15-year survivor myself on her survivorship of how many years? 2 years and going strong. Make sure you get your scores ready. What can we expect from the new Terminal 1 in 2025?
Oh my gosh, poor Serge. I'm looking at my colleague Serge and technology assistants here. What can we expect? So, a few really critical things. One, we're moving to weather tight by the end of the year. And so it's full on inside that building. We've got some partners, our URW partners are here. So you are going to start us seeing, first of all, we'll be announcing, you'll be here by the end of the year, some of the world-class brands and some of the absolute best of queens in the greater New York area that will be in our terminal. So stay tuned for some of those announcements. But you're going to start seeing that come to life next year with a couple of thousand people working on top of each other to build out and deliver our back office space for our wonderful airline partners as that pool continues to grow, putting our retail components in there, delivering our systems and getting ready to get into ORAT and readiness for the transfer from the old terminal to the new terminal. So we've got a lot of activity to nearly complete construction by the end of 2025 and get us to the point where we can open in June 2026 and have that June 26 is going to be a big testing time surge. And so we've got to hustle in 2025 to get the civil works done, to get the build out of the building done. So construction is going to be very busy in the 2025 period. At the same time, that's the most intense time. We've had some great progress in welcoming airline partners from all over the world into our new company, which is great. And Carl's here. He's been traveling all over the world with me and our team as we meet with the heads of the airlines across the world who are so excited about the new standard that we're delivering here at JFK. We're in double digits now. That's a big milestone. Double digits of airline partners. You may have seen this last week. We announced Philippines. We've got another announcement coming out imminently where we are just really pleased with the interest that we're seeing from the airline community. So that's about us next year building out those world-class lounges. You can see it in these airline CEOs' eyes, where these are the trophies in the greatest city on the planet. Their hands-on efforts in helping to design these lounges. It's exciting to see that. So that's going to be a big part of what we're doing next year as well. Procuring major operations. So you're going to see ground services come out the first quarter of next year. So we're all getting all of our extended team in place to be able to operate the terminal. So that's a big activity happening next year as well. And we are going to be hiring. So we've got to get our team ready to go and equipped to be able to start serving customers. So all of that's happening in 2025. I keep telling my team that we have a bit of what feels like having done a lot of these big sort of transformational projects. And you get to this point where you feel this kind of tidal wave come in and lift you. And it's sort of lifting us with the momentum of this project. And the next time we put our feet on the ground, we'll have been open for a few months. So we're kind of entering that phase now. Okay? Yeah. And well, I see Brian. We might do a little refi too, but we'll see.
Well, writing about the developments, I feel like I'm part of that tidal wave.
Yeah.
Very excited. So it's been 6 months since you moved to New York. What do you love about it?
So I have to say, I can be honest now. Well, not I'm not always honest, but
No, where did you come from? Where did you move from?
DC.
DC, okay.
So it's a very popular town this time of year, particularly DC. But I will just be absolutely honest. I came for the project. I mean, look at this project, right? I mean, it is the largest terminal in the world. It is the new standard for aviation in the United States. It is the high-profile domestic proof point for public-private partnerships in aviation in the United States. I mean, how could I not come to this project, right? It is the culmination of so many things that I love to do, and I have a world-class team from all over the world that are here, and with some amazing talent coming out of JFK now to deliver. How could I not come to this project? So I came for the project, not coming to live in New York. I actually had a little bit of trepidation about living in a very congested city of New York. Where's Kevin? Right, there you are, Kevin. So my husband and I came up for sort of final decision point. Can we do this? Can we live in New York? And it was the worst day that Bell Parkway has ever had. The worst day it has ever had. It's pouring down the rain. It's freezing. It's dark. It's awful. And my husband's looking at me and we're like, I don't think we can do this. I'm like, I love this project so much. And he's like, but I don't think we can do this. So we stopped at some little restaurant in Queens, and I sat down next to Brian. I can't believe I sat down next to you. And started eating. They were so friendly, so wonderful. So I got my first taste of the JFK community. In fact, ate tater tots off his plate as the evening went on, and had the camaraderie of the people in this little restaurant, many of whom were made up of this JFK community. And I looked at my husband Andy and we're like, okay, we're in. We can do this. We can do this. And so we have come to love the city so much. And when you're in DC, and so it was really the chamber leadership that brought me into the job, I guess, over tater tots at a small restaurant in Queens. But we've come to love the city so much. And then when you're in DC, it gets kind of wears on you. The first thing people ask you when you meet someone in DC is, hi, what do you do? Because they want to calculate the first 10 seconds if, like, can you be beneficial to me? Mm-hmm. When you're in New York, the first people say is, where do you eat? Right. And so, how could you not love that? The diversity, the food, the vibrancy of this city, we are hopelessly addicted and we love it.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. And glad that you decided, despite the Belt Parkway. What drives you crazy about New York?
The Belt Parkway.
The Belt Parkway. Yeah, it drives me crazy too. My husband drove it to JFK every day for about 40 years. And so my family, we raised our family on commerce from JFK, Idlewild Hardware, on Rockaway Boulevard.
Yeah. Well, the Belt Parkway is about, for a serious note, I guess, not that drives me crazy, but one thing, I mean, I think to our partners in the Port Authority, and there's not a day that goes by that we don't appreciate what they've done in terms of the aspirational programming. I mean, and I've said this in so many forums that looking at infrastructure programs all over the world, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, what JFK, what the Port Authority is doing, $19 billion program to do aviation infrastructure, road infrastructure. I mean, what we're doing here is just incredible. And to do it all at one time while operating and welcoming 63,000 international guests a day. I mean, this is just, it's really amazing. But with that comes a lot of unique challenges of coordination, but it also comes with a lot of safety challenges. So we have a lot of construction activity on the site right now. We have a lot of customers coming through the area. And so it's not something that annoys me, it's something that I lose sleep about at night. And so I would just encourage all of our partners to really continue to put a heightened focus on safety. It's our number one priority. It will always be. I was with the TSA and Customs and Border Protection leadership this morning as we map out the future and all the new technology and things that we're going to do to not just improve safety but customer experience as it relates to security as well. But I would use this moment to reinforce to everyone, this is big business we're doing. This is big, messy, dangerous business on this campus. So whatever role you're playing, make sure that you're putting safety first, and that's certainly the approach that we have with our contractor partners particularly, to make sure that we're keeping people safe as we really do something that is just tremendous.
Right, and commuters need to keep in mind that it's going to take some patience, but the end product is going to be incredible.
Well, and I was with a JFK veteran today who had, this campus is in her blood, and she was panicking at the wheel going, where do we go, where do we go, where do we go? So imagine if you don't have 40 years of experience in JFK, it's a pretty intimidating place. So anything we can do to keep customers and our colleagues safe, we make sure we all keep it at top of mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you want to add anything else, or did you want to take any questions?
Well, a couple key things. I just, top of mind today. I think, one, I do want to thank again all the partners in this room that are making this possible. There are a few things that you're going to see in the coming months that we're particularly excited about. One is the introduction of our latest airline partners, so keep an eye out for that. It's a very exciting time for us, and we all should be proud of the interest and the excitement that we get when we travel all over the world and we see these aviation powerhouse leaders talk about JFK. They're so excited about what the future's going to be here, right? So I think that's really incredible. We've had another signal of that. We had a bond issuance this past year, $2.55 billion in green bonds, and including 40% that are an underwriting syndicated through MWBEs, again, woven into the fabric of our business. T6 just had a great bond offering in the market this week as well, and congratulations to our colleagues there. It's such a reflection of the market and the confidence that investors have in what's happening here at JFK, in the future that we have, and the growth that we will have, and the demand. And so it's a great reminder of that. So lots of things remind us of that. We also have some really neat things happening around security and safety. Our customers are going to come in the first day at the new terminal, and they're going to walk through TSA, or they're going to come in through, I won't say, the most spectacular Customs and Border Protection arena anywhere. And they're going to see a whole new partnership with the federal government and a whole new level of security and customer experience than we've seen anywhere in the U.S. And so the TSA and CBP are such critical partners for this airport, and to see them really look at innovation and how they're using technology to empower their colleagues to deliver on their mission, but also provide a great experience for our shared customers. It's really going to be very exciting to hear more of that. And then last, I would just give a preview coming out with the Port Authority. We're finalizing art, and I can't show it to you today, but wow, it is going to be just incredible, the art that will be in this terminal. And we actually were working with our security colleagues this morning to figure out, it is so spectacular. How are we going to make sure that we can keep customers moving and that they won't be taking pictures in places they shouldn't be taking photos because they want to capture for Instagram or whatever the place. And you know what that is? It's going to celebrate Queens. It's going to celebrate New York. It's got the best of our region, and the diversity and vibrancy of our region is brought to life for our customers there. So hopefully we'll do this in next year, and we'll be able to show you some beautiful photos of all that and talk about some of these world-class brands. But I'll just preview that a little bit because it's something we're really proud about.
Well, we'll definitely be reporting on that. And if you'd like to learn more about Jennifer, we did an in-depth interview with her on the cover in July, and there are some copies of it over there if you'd like to read. And we also have our current edition, which features accessibility and all the special amendments that are at the airports now.
One more. Do I have time for one more?
Yes, you have, absolutely.
Okay, one more. So now that Phase A is done, right, guys? Pretty much. Pretty much done, 50% done. So we are starting in earnest the second phase of the terminal, which is another 9 gates. Look at it, Uzo, my colleague, who's at the helm of this. Another 9 gates, which will be the second phase of the terminal. Our commitment to our partners at the Port Authority is we will begin construction on the second phase the day we commence revenue on the first phase, which is June of 2026. So we are out in the market right now for a designer to work on the second phase of this spectacular building. And we'll be doing a design build procurement next year. Lots of opportunities coming with what we call Project Beyond, Phase B, in 2025 as we build out the second half of the terminal. A little bit of complexity on how you open a terminal, demolish another terminal, and begin construction on yet another part of the terminal, but we're working through those details, right? So we can figure it out. How hard can it be? So we'll work through that, but we also are raising the bar. We've had such a wealth of talent coming in through our NWBE program, and we want to push the envelope for Project Beyond for Phase B and raise the bar and have an even more meaningful contribution of diverse talent to us. To be able to bring more and more people off the sidelines, to be able to help businesses and individuals to help us with this second phase. So that's a big happening in 2025 as well. Last comment, I want to thank the Chamber. Someone who develops infrastructure projects, and I mean this, they do not happen. Infrastructure projects that matter don't happen without the support and advocacy of chambers. They just don't. And so I really appreciate your partnership and the organization's partnership, but they simply don't happen. They're so hard to get up and going and delivered, and we just could not do it without support of the chamber. So many thanks for all the great things you do.